All right, so in the going Netflix series that is Jamaica, we're talking about that recent story of that mysterious plane that crashed in Rocky Point, Clarendon over the weekend. So let's read from the start. It says the bustling fishing village of Rocky Point, Clarendon may be best known for aquatic creatures, but has a rather dark side is considered transshipment for drugs and guns. The seaside community has again been cast in the spotlight following the crash of a small aircraft in the sea this Saturday. Up to press time yesterday, members of the security force have continued to search for the areas surrounding the White Sands Beach, Rocky Point, where the aircraft Cessna XB JMR twin engine made a land on the coast. Reports from the Landell Town Police about 7 p.m. There's someone to the location. On the arrival, the aircraft was checked. However, no passengers or cargo were seen on the plane or its vicinity. Police said that several checks have been made at nearby hospitals. However, medical personnel reported that no one arrived at the facility from the crash site, which means that what that basically means that the people who were in that plane were not here on a vacation or like just there or weren't there as regular tourists, so to speak. Quote to quote, I heard there was some engine difficulty because some guys thought they saw black smoke coming from an engine and the pilot turned on a bright light trying to find a place to land, or as it told the Star. According to one resident, the fishing village has been a capital for transshipment of drugs due to its nice safe harbor and secluded location. Yeah, red flags right there, obviously. This is quote to quote, the sea has a nice harbor. It's not rocky so the boats can travel without fear of damage. There are places where they can store their stuff and ship it out. They do it on site and onto the village, the residents said. And we're wondering how come the authorities haven't really planted themselves in this area if they pretty much know about Rocky Point's nefarious reputation. Quote to quote, when asked about the stuff, the president referred to the response was drugs, basically, whether it's the funny stick or the funny powder. And there are lots of places where there's no population, so nobody see the operation. Over the years, fishermen in Rocky Point have reportedly reeling big catch from the straight cocaine found at sea. Star was told it's a regular occurrence for him to find the funny stick and the funny powder out there. And if you don't know what the funny stick or the funny powder is, use your imagination. When the plane doings drop off and they have bad weather, one and two parcels might stray and fishermen find it. Resident said, quote unquote, when you find it and see people go from poverty to riches because sometimes they find 30 or 25 kilograms and 1 kilogram is $1 million. So all of a sudden you can buy a house or car. Them have who for buy it. Them have one contact, one phone call. Started drug smuggling as a big business in Rocky Point. The native claimed that the sales from cocaine support the lifestyles of many persons. That's very telling that a lot of these areas, these residents know this. All right, head of Super Clarendon Police Senior Temple Glenford Miller told Star that the drug smuggling is a prevalent issue not just in Rocky Point and parishes of southern coast. Southern Coast. Quote, quote, most of the times drug peddlers do utilize drugs as routes to transport their drugs away. When we do try to partner with a marine police officer to see who best can battle what's happening on the southern side of Clarendon where special disease concern, said Miller. Yesterday, as police looked for clues that could help them understand Saturday's crash, several persons braved crocodile festivals to the crash site. Some persons successfully made off with items such as mats and diving equipment, while others were not so lucky as were intercepted by cops, confiscated stolen items. So yeah, the vultures are basically trying to find scraps from a crime scene, and again that itself is a crime to taint a crime scene. So to these yahoos, basically greed and short-sightedness have really have compromised this whole crime scene in more ways than one. Not these dummies care, of course, but yeah. So basically, you have some for a TV show or movie, and from what I've also been reading, they say that there's apparently is a Mexican plane, and that the individuals who were on it basically had either had items on it or illegal items on it, and they basically reason why they absconded from the plane because they know that if they stay so authorities can question them. Yeah, a lot of them are looking at just some jail sentence. So of course they basically got off the plane. But from what I'm read in some other articles, that some of the residents, basically some of them were greedy and short-sighted, were paid up by his men to hide them and hide them from the authorities. And yeah, under normal circumstances, any people who were not of the area, who were of or of ill repute, any civilians with moral dignity and common sense would have detained them so the police can question them. But again, greed and short-sightedness won over. So they said, you know what? We don't know what these guys are here for, what they're capable of, or what it could do. Because what if these guys have been more than smugglers? Like these could have been spies or terrorists, and you aided and abetted some very dangerous criminals. Again, that itself is a bit of serious felony, and the fact that some of these residents aren't on criminal charges, I mean, apart from the dumbasses were taking away the parts of the plane. They is just like I said, like that itself just shows how short-sighted and dumb too many of us are here in Jamaica. Cause like I said, like you don't, because you can guarantee that some Jamaicans had landed someplace in Mexico in one of those villages. You can guarantee that even those Jamaicans paid off those people, the likelihood of those civilians not either not skinning them alive or holding them up, as opposed to just hiding them so they can go about their business, is slim. But again, when you have a country where too many people are so craven and hungry belly, they don't think that way. But nonetheless, like I said, this is something from a TV show or movie, and it just kills me that Jamaica, which is like basically the Caribbean Hollywood island, the Hollywood on the rock. Why that there are many TV shows and movies based on it? But then again, Jamaicans like too much think like the swines when pearls are cast among them. No, and I'm just you don't know when you have treasures amongst you that you can use or utilize. But this should go in the this should basically be a TV show or movie because this is something from JAG, NCIS, CSI, Miami Vice, or even the Bad Boys movie franchise, and so on. And anyhow, any people in Hollywood who like reading Jamaican news would scoop this idea up and run with it. But we Jamaicans should be honest and so on. But anyways, this is for my minute or State of Jamaica and the Caribbean. Check out my YouTube pages, Miles Goes and Farron, Miles Productions, and Real Thoughts of Miles. Alright.